There's women that are probably not going to approve what I'm saying.
No.
Pick up the game.
Yeah.
You need to perform. Like, this is a performance sport. I'm just sex, drugs, and race cars.
Sex.
Are you
going to bleep me out, or is that just going to ride?
I don't know. I might let it ride.
You're going to have to do a lot of editing on this.
Hello and welcome to the Dirt Track Confessions podcast with your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney. Dirt Track Confessions begins in 3, 2, 1.
A little more janky?
Janky. Is janky good or bad?
No, it's bad.
Shit. All right. Okay. Abort. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dirt Track Confessions. I'm your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney. Today we have Jordan Cogs rejoining us.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I came back.
He made it back. So we think we have a topic of discussion, but we both have that bird brain, I guess we'll go with, where we have an idea, we're going to roll with it, and wherever the wind takes us. La, la, la.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and ask Mandee a bunch of questions, and we're going to see where it goes.
All right.
Right?
I guess.
That's just what we're going to do?
I guess. Hit me. What? Should I be nervous?
No, I don't think so. No, it's all good questions. We have a visitor.
We have an audience now
in the building.
All right.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out something to talk about here, and my wife just texted me. We were trying to think about something to talk about here, and I was like, well, what people want to know more about what goes on in your head. I feel like
that's dangerous. Do they though?
I feel like that's why some people are here. They want to figure out what you have opinions on and what you think about certain things. And I was like, all right, well, let me rattle this around in my brain a little bit. Let me let the marbles just kind of go and see what happens. I think we can start off with an easy one, which is pouch related. What is your favorite memory or moment of watching your dad race, or just simply being at the racetrack as a kid? Is there something that comes to mind? So just to context, like just something that when you think of being at the racetrack as a kid, whether it's a win that your dad had, or like a special moment that maybe you guys had in Victory Lane, or something along, or just being in the pits at a racetrack, like those kind of things. Is there something that immediately comes to mind? Like, yeah, this was like a really cool moment for me as a kid. I
feel like, should this be the first thing that comes to mind? I say it.
Yeah.
Because I had like 20 different things going through.
Well, give us the first one.
First one was definitely, someone correct me. It was 2005, 2006 when Dad jumped into Al Hamilton's sprint car at Grandview and won. Yeah. That checklist. I mean, I missed a lot, obviously, of Dad's wins, but definitely that win was amazing because he was done sprint car racing. He was out, and Al Hamilton called him, and my dad's like, of all the people, I got to race your race car, right? And so we just jumped in, and he won it, and it was pretty damn amazing. And I just I can remember to the day sitting in the stands, sitting in turn 4, the people going crazy. I mean, I was young enough, but I was at the age where I actually was remembering stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, you're like your BP3's age. He's a sponge. He remembers a lot, but he's busy playing like race cars, with his buddies or chasing his friends around. Whereas I actually was sitting watching the race. But other times, at New Egypt, I don't know, scuffing my knees up, playing under the grandstands, or they had these jersey barriers and we would just jump up and down off of them. And I just remember getting this huge, cut all the way up the front of my leg. I still have scars from it. I have a lot of scars from the races. Oh. But wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Another memory. I mean, it's all family stuff. It's riding the motorhome, making trips out of it, going to Ashcombs on the way to Williams Grove, going to the zoo on the way to Florida or whatever it is, going to the beaches, and just making it like a family trip. Those always really stand out to me.
So it's more, all right. Yeah. So that's cool. 'Cause we have, a specific racing moment. And then it's the on the way to the racetrack, or what you guys made out of, going to the racetrack as a family, making those family memories.
And then we can
that
toss
stick to you.
in a juicy one. My first kiss was at the races.
Well,
I don't know about you, but
No.
No? Oh.
No. Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I don't have that. We're not going to get details, obviously.
Okay. No. You can take your wild guesses. It's fine.
Send your guesses down in the comments.
Please don't. Let's not.
Which racetrack?
Oh no, that would be too easy. That'd be too easy.
All right. That's fair. All right. That's fair. But that's cool. Yeah, because I always wondered. It was cool that you brought. Well, I mean that's one of your memories is your dad's sprint car win.
Mm-hmm.
I always heard about that, and I was like, oh, what was like? Yeah, like it's Billy Pauch. Like, what was so great about that? Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh yeah, he just hopped in and went out and showed everybody what was up that night. It's like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, he literally was like, I'm done with it. It had been a few years. He was done with sprint car racing, and he got the call, and I was like, okay, family, we're all going. We're going to Grandview.
Yeah.
And sitting in the stands, and it was very, very monumental. But really, it's I just always remember as a kid, and I mean, this is very, I don't want to say cocky, but as a kid, I'd be like, hey, you want to come to the races Saturday night? Like my friends in middle school, right? And I can almost guarantee my dad's going to win, like here we are. And there we are in Victory Lane, and they think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And, the older I got, unfortunately, like the farther and few in between they were. And the sprint car one was really like, for me, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. I had a similar experience, because my dad was really good at Flemington in the 90s. So it was like, hey, like we're probably gonna win tonight. Like, why don't you come out and why don't you guys come? And I'm pretty sure every time I brought a friend, he didn't win.
Oh no! Okay, no friends at the races. I was always like, bring your friends. It's gonna be great. I would if that was the case.
Sorry, Phil Bob.
No one was allowed. Can't come. No friends.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's. Do you remember the first time you ever got to go to Victory Lane? Like the first time you remember going?
No. I mean, I can say from pictures, of course.
Yeah.
You see them on the walls here, and you kind of repaint the picture in your memory. But for me, definitely Flemington, not a damn clue. Nothing. All I remember was me running to the bathrooms and getting lost because I was so small. And I think it was the last race, maybe. Don't hold me to this, but the Pauch stats out there, someone tell me. I think the last race at Flemington, obviously asphalt, I think something happened to Dad's car and it broke or something. He didn't race, didn't complete the night. And I'm pretty sure my mom and I were on a horse and buggy because I think it was during the fair.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, I wasn't even watching the race. I was on a horse and buggy ride. So definitely do not remember Flemington. East Windsor, I remember New Egypt. I always say New Egypt for me was definitely probably for me would be the first most things I would start remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Neat.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you.
I like that. And so that kind of answers the question of what do you consider your home track to be?
New Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say Flemington, but by the time I started even understanding, I couldn't even, unless it's from video, I couldn't even recollect any on-track racing. East Windsor, New Egypt, Williams Grove, those I can visually see as a kid.
And that makes sense because, I mean, like we've established before, you're not that much younger than me, but you are younger. And I just have some memories late 90s. There's a couple years it's okay, I remember these things specifically. Mm-hmm. So you would have been right at that time. And your dad wasn't racing there that often back in that day. So
that's I'd say that's about right around where BP3 is at right now. Maybe in a year or two is when, who knows?
Right about now would make I remember stuff I remember those things from when I was 6 or 7.
He remembers more than me, so
that's what I keep hearing.
Oh my God. Him the other day, I was telling Mike on the phone, I took him to town the other day in my car, and don't judge by this, but the tire sensors on my car are so freaking sensitive. It's off by just one little itty bitty bit. Ding, light goes off. I'm like, crap. So going down the road, little Billy's in the back seat. Aunt Mandy, you have a low tire. Thanks. I know. A couple minutes later, Aunt Mandy, you're low on fuel. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Billy. Did you ever get those windshield wipers fixed, Aunt Mandy? No. God, go to sleep. I was like...
Well, it's not his fault. Your dash is probably lit up like a Christmas tree.
I know. I'm like, I got
poor kid's just trying to help you out.
Yeah. He just remembers so much. But yes, it's very entertaining.
Good. All right, let's move on. Hold on.
Come on, unlock the phone.
Right,
should have these like boom, boom, boom.
Well, I was going to write them down, and then I realized that I don't feel like writing.
That's okay.
So, all right, switching gears here a little bit. What comes to mind when you think about the hardest thing of being a content creator?
All I thought was purple, but so when you say like what, I mean the trophies maybe, but I was going with like the first thing that comes to mind, and I thought purple. Purple's okay. First thing that comes to mind when I think content creator.
The hardest thing about being a content creator.
I did not listen to one word he said. The hardest thing.
Thanks.
When it comes to being a content creator, what? I'm having a roadblock. Let me think. Hardest thing. I'm coming up with the time to put into it. Mm-hmm. Right. I actually was just on a podcast recently, and he was like, take me through the day and the hours. And it's like, okay, well, you're at the track for, I don't know, 6 hours, maybe more than sometimes, right? You're at the track hypothetically 6 hours. Yeah. Well, I typically start recording like before we get to the track. So I'm getting like a good day's worth of quote unquote work with content. And then afterwards it's okay, now I had to put all that and condense it down. And that's a few more hours. I mean, the Bridgeport video from Sunday with all 3 of them, it took me 6 hours. Yeah. Just to put it together, not the 6 hours. So essentially it took me 12 hours to make this one gosh darn video. Yeah. So it's really it's very time consuming, I would say. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That I don't know if I'm sure obviously people realize how hard you work on these videos, but
do they?
I don't.
Thank you.
I would hope so.
I appreciate you.
It's definitely a lot more than, and that's why I'm asking, because I don't think people realize how much time just that alone. It's like, oh yeah, like what the amount of video you have from one car, like Mike's one car. It's like, okay, well, you're at least doubling that for Billy, and then then you had your dad there for a little while.
Yeah, a couple minutes. He made a spotlight.
But like that's it's time consuming, and you have to. It's not like you can really. There's obviously times where you're like, all right, yeah, I can skip over this part. Or
the race is so boring. I'm like, all right, from like 2 laps in to like lap 25, just friggin' erase it all. Useless footage.
Yeah, it's nice that like you're not it's a small highlight video that you're putting together when it comes to the actual racing content of it. But then, like you said, just the entire day, like you have to think immediately, like, all right, when do I do an intro? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you're like, oh crap, I didn't do that until I'm at the racetrack, or. Yep. I'm going to do it right here at the shop. And you're like, well, all right, well, the lighting's not great. Mm-hmm. Or they're working behind me. Well, I'll do that. It takes a lot more, time.
Yeah. I get into, that's what my, I guess, dilemma roadblock had been was I got into such a routine doing the same thing. And it's like, okay, we get it. You're at your Friday night track, you're unloading the car, you're loading it back up, it's the same thing over and over again. So it's like, all right, I talk to other YouTubers that don't do racing videos, and they think ahead, like, all right, what's my thumbnail going to be? What's the title going to be? What do I want to get out of this video? And I'm like, I don't know until the night's over. Yeah. I don't know until the night is over. Sometimes I'm like, Mike, can you make something up? Can you make something fun? And he just looks at me, he's like what? And I'm like, okay, we got nothing, right? And unless something exciting happens on the track where it's like rolling the dice, like it's going to be a good video, it's not going to be a good video.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of nights where it's like, well, this was not a dud, but it's like, nothing really crazy happened. And you don't want to be disingenuous in any way and be like, fabricate something. But it needs to be engaging. It needs to draw people in. Like you said, the thumbnails is huge. For somebody who's never watched any of your videos, that is the first thing they're going to see if you're recommended or something like that. So that's a huge part of it. I know when we went to, I think it was when we went to Georgetown, we were talking about it, and you're like, you know what, just at some point, like if I have to, I'll just throw a wrench at somebody and
you'll do something fun. I appreciate it.
Like we'll figure it out.
Take one for the team.
We'll stir up dust somewhere and or like we just get Mike to just say something outrageous. It has nothing to do with anything, but no. It's
very interesting because for thumbnails, at least for my channel specifically, Dirt Track Untold, is, I try to mix it up enough. But yeah, like you see other channels out there that do sprint cars, that do late models, that do UMP, like they're across the country.
Yeah.
Where we are so teeny tiny in the Northeast. So it's like, if I just post a picture up of a modified, who the frick is going to want to click on that? Whereas unfortunately, if you post up a female on the thumbnail, it gets clicks. So when you see my videos and it's me awkwardly like, oh my God, ah, ooh, ah, ee, ah. Yeah, that's literally why I'm doing it. And I can't freaking stand it. I'm stuttering over myself. I just do not even like looking at them, but it's what gets people to click.
I laugh every time.
I know. I'm like, I should just do a bikini shoot and just, here I am. Click on my video. This is what's going to work.
All you got to do is have like a little race car in the corner and it still counts.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's outrageous what the lengths that people will go to, but you have to be above that.
Yeah.
It's, your work will speak for itself.
Thank you. So I try to, it's the getting people to draw them in, and then the video should do the work itself, So until I find the golden nugget, we're just going to keep showing my lovely face.
Unfortunately, the videos that probably do the best are the ones where bad things happen.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
But that's, I mean, that leads me right into the next question I was going to ask. What surprised you the most about doing YouTube? I mean, it's a great transition.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't hear one word you just said because I'm going off of, I don't know, I'm doing my own game over here of like the first thing that comes to mind.
Cool.
And you do what you got to do. It's like a nip slip. Man. I'm like.
First thing that comes to mind.
You wanted to know what goes on in the brain. Okay, so what was your actual question?
I was trying to clean transition because we were talking about YouTube and like what you do. I was
nip
trying
slip to what?
It was trying to transition that goes right into the next question of what surprised you the most when you started doing YouTube. What has surprised you the most about YouTube?
Surprised me the most.
Like what's something you went, oh wow, I didn't know this is what I would learn from this. Or,
I guess in the beginning, I look at YouTube, people use YouTube a lot to learn stuff. And I had taken YouTube classes right when I started at my channel. And the classes were what are people searching, the SEO? What are people looking at? What do they want to learn? And I'm like, frick if I know. I'm showing them our day, literally a vlog. So I'm like, okay. So I was interviewing people, doing how-to videos, what is stagger, how to change the gears in your rear end, how-to stuff. And they went well. And we still to this day, was it 2020 when people watched Jenny get built?
Yeah.
And see, you're like, and everyone loves Jenny.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And so many people reference back to them. But again, I'm working on trying to expand outside of the modified market. And not everyone has sprint cars don't use the easy rear end, right? They do quick change, but it's not the type of rear ends that we use in our cars. So they're not looking that up. It doesn't pertain to them. So it's a freaking head game trying to find out what people want, but also entertaining them. And really it's just freaking entertaining people. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Either how-tos or entertaining. So I made the shift from interviewing people to showing our day to day. And it still blows my mind that people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I do my routine, I make my tea, I read my book. Like, do you guys really care about that stuff? But they do. I don't know.
Vlogs are very popular.
Yeah.
It's a big thing on YouTube.
Seeing how people live a different lifestyle. I mean, it entertains me, but my life doesn't entertain. I mean, I guess it does to an extent, me, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remind me, there's something I want to tell you after this.
Afterwards, okay.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay. All right. What are we doing? What we got?
No, it's a suggestion. Okay. Have you ever thought about doing more shop videos? Like during the week, like showing, I know it's tough because Mike's not here.
Yep.
Billy's here. Mm-hmm. I don't know how open he'd be because a lot of stuff that I watch that's that's car automotive related, you see a lot of the behind the scenes of a car being built.
Yep.
Or even just the dated, like the regular maintenance, and you start seeing the characters of the crew. Mm-hmm. You start seeing more character of the driver, more character of the team that's behind the scenes, and it's not like a how-to or this is exactly what we're doing on this. It's just like they just happen to be like, yeah, so like Friday night we busted a shock, so so Billy Bob over there's like fixing a shock, and you just kind of like he's just like, yeah, hey, yeah, I'm fixing the shock over here, and then after that we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be a lot of work today, and then maybe they show a time lapse of some things going down, but I don't know how much of that has crossed your mind.
You want to hear something ironic?
Sure.
As we're doing this right now.
Always.
I recorded Monday after the races on Sunday because we had all 3 cars here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, how cool it'd be to show the day of like what everyone was doing. It dropped at 5:00 while we're doing this. Good job, Jordan. But I think
that's why I didn't want to say anything.
No. Because I put that out there.
I swear I didn't know.
No, I put that out there as a feeler to be like, okay, did you guys enjoy this?
I feel like people would.
Yeah.
For sure.
And however, I didn't put my face on this one, so we're gonna have to test this one out because if it doesn't get good views tomorrow, I'm gonna put my face on it and change the thumbnail just so everyone's clear. You can do that.
Oh, that's right. You can
switch it up.
Oh,
so it's like
make 2 thumbnails.
I can change the title and I can change the thumbnail, and you'd be like, oh, I haven't watched this one yet. Boom, got you. But I have not taken the time to do that.
Wow.
I know. I'm slacking.
No, but my brain actually exploded. I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. I think you're still stuck on it. Do you want me to take a break? Think about it?
No, I've been fooled. I'm
sorry.
I think you. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
No, we're good.
Learn something new. Okay.
We're good.
So I think my hold up is, I want to show more shop stuff. I want to show more outside of the track stuff. But I spend enough time with these guys. I really don't want to spend more time with them.
That's fair.
Yeah. Mike will always be like, hey, you want to come visit me in the shop? And I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't.
And I don't blame you.
Yeah. So I'm like,
not because of Mike or his guys, but like, I don't blame you. Yeah. If you spend enough time with people.
I follow them all weekend and so I'm hoping someday at some point they'll just pick up a camera and be like, so this is what I'm doing this week. Like that would be thoughtful, guys. I'm just putting that out there if they're listening to
That's kind of where I was getting at.
Yeah. That one. Just looking at cameras.
All it takes is, we all have cameras. We all have cameras on us at all times, guys. Yes. Doesn't take much. Mm-mm. Michael?
Billy too. Billy, he's got his son, so he's, for the most part.
I don't know how Billy would do with that.
I would be so entertained. Imagine if we gave Billy a camera for a night and just seeing him holding it up and talking to himself. He can't do it when every time you're on, we pick on Billy. When you flip the camera up and he sees himself, he's like, "Oh, I can see me."
When his picture on, I think it was on Facebook.
His selfie.
His selfie
God, epic.
The other night. I happened to I just went on Facebook and I saw it and I started dying laughing. Yeah. And Courtney's like, what are you and I went, he had just posted it. So no one had seen it. And I just showed it to her. She went, that's Billy. She went, yep, that's Billy. So I feel like.
That's not his forte. Not his forte. So hey, we'll leave him to racing.
I love you, Billy.
Let him do his racing.
I'm gonna pick on you when I can, bud.
Yes.
Until you put me and him in this room together.
Dude, I can't wait. He just got back from being out in Chicago for a few days for work. So I was like, you know what? We'll get you next time. He's like, gee, thanks. I'm like,
All right. We'll transition here a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I'll save this one for afterwards. What would be your one piece of advice for someone who wants to get involved in racing, but not as a driver?
To any capacity, I suppose.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe somebody who wanted to do. Well, all right. So let's go. A young Mandee comes up to you. How you wanted to get involved?
Come work with me. Be my photographer. You're hired.
Yeah.
Because really, like I have Skylar working with me right now, and I mean she's been around long enough, but she told me she wants to do similar stuff, and I was like, well, there's no better place than from me, and you're gonna be starting like years before me, right? Like I didn't start doing this stuff until my, I don't know what, mid-20s. So she's still in high school, so she's going to be learning ahead of the game. But really, me say like circa 15, honestly, everything I did, I would just tell everyone to do the same thing. Someone had asked me that the other day. It's like, what would you have told Mandee at age 15 other than not being a crazy psycho girl? Because I was rough. I was not a good teenager. I might have like made both my parents cry a couple times. It's fine.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. What teenager doesn't, right? Teenagers are rough.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't just me.
Yeah. I have 2 girls now, so I can't wait.
Let me know.
I can't wait.
Let me know
in 10 to 15 years what my life is going to be like.
You're gonna want to lock yourself in the room. Yeah.
I have more gray hair than I already have.
Exactly. So is it like pastel fox? You'll rock it. You'll rock it.
It's I'm starting to salt and pepper through here. Yeah.
It's okay. Sorry, that's why I assumed you were a little bit older. I'm just sorry.
You assumed right, but
wait. Okay, so the question, back to the question, is like for myself, I would say you have to start somewhere. You go to the local racetrack, you go to a race team, you ask them, how can I help? You know, we just had this conversation, like any job, you're going to have to start at the bottom, work your way up. You know, like I think I did a podcast on this. Like I'm pretty sure my first, racing piece gig was like working the mic during intermissions at Big Diamond, entertaining kids. And then it went to me selling advertisements in the PDI program for like, what was it? New Egypt Wall in Orange County, you know, like it's not jobs I necessarily wanted to do, but it got my foot in the door. It helped me meet more people, get your foot in the next door, and you work your way up. So you're not going to get your dream job at 15, but as long as you stick to it and you kind of have a vision of, okay, this is where I want to be, because I am nowhere where I anticipated being, but it's pretty freaking awesome. And wherever it leads me next, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Did that help? Did I inspire
no, that's great.
You?
That's great advice.
You really need to get this thing out of your eyeyeball.
I have very long eyelashes.
Is that your problem?
And they're annoying.
No, I'm sorry. You just gotta come off.
Do my eyes look?
No, you're just.
Well, like one comes down, and then it's like I'm just here. I'm like, okay, so now I have to
rearrange
sit here
them.
and
you got to get like a little brush for your eyelashes.
Yeah. I've been handed an eyelash curler more than a few times by my mother and
your wife?
And my wife.
Yeah.
And I'm scared.
They're pretty torturous looking. I have pinched myself a few times.
I didn't witness it, but I watched Courtney rip off her eyelashes using one. I don't know if she sneezed while she was or if she like just flinched while she was using one and they all came off. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, that was not fun. But no, that's what I was curious about was that's great advice. I mean, basically, it sounds like, I mean, if you're going to the racetrack all the time, just offer, go to the front office and see if they need help with something.
Just literally start making friends. The more our sport,
start making connections.
Yeah, our sport, it's the connections. I mean, it's who you know, who the next person is. You don't know the person sitting next to you. Make friends with them all and make those connections, and it's going to help you build yourself up.
Yeah, and even race teams, there's plenty of race teams that are willing to trust anybody with their social media accounts.
Everyone needs help. I mean, Billy, here's okay, we're gonna give Billy a plug. Is he needs more help here in Frenchtown in the shop with his own car. Unfortunately, his awesome guys are getting older and going off and doing different things, and so it's like, all right, we need some young blood. Poor Todd over here. He needs.
I'm sure he needs some help.
He needs some help, but even if it's sweeping the floors, washing the car, or you actually know a few things, like don't just sit back and assume. Reach out. I mean, for Mike, a few of the guys in our race shop in Elizabethtown, they just showed up one day, and it's like, this is awesome. Yeah, we'll keep you.
We get into it. I don't have a horse in this race at all, so just. You will be. I'm here to learn or here to listen. Women in racing.
Okay.
Do you see a prominent / healthy shift to more female drivers, media, track promoters, etc., or do you think more should be done?
Ironically, I was just asked this not too long ago. You're out. Yeah. No, I think it's so interesting because I've talked on the topic of women, and so many people just like come at me like, this isn't like the 1900s. I'm like, dude, go back into your mom's basement. Like, stop. But I think
looking at you.
Yes, I think we're doing well. I mean, I personally, I feel like I've worked my way up. I mean, obviously, yes, okay, I've got the last name, but I've said it time and time again. My last name gets me to the door. It's me, my hard work, my resilience that gets me through the door to the next door and the next door. So I see women that own racetracks. I see women promoters. I see women racing. A lot of women are making names for themselves, and I'm very proud of it. I really like that they're taking the initiative, and instead of being, just the woman holding the helmet or, I don't know, selling the t-shirts, we're doing more. And I think it's awesome. I mean, gosh, someone help me out here. I don't know if either of you guys here would know this, but someone apparently was saying at one point in time, there was racetracks, like women weren't allowed in the pits. Were you guys aware of this? Yeah. No? Okay. Don't hold me to that. This is what I heard. I don't know.
That'd be the first time I've ever heard that.
Okay. That was the first time I heard it too. So this isn't like a quote, Mandee put this in the.
All right. So are we talking like what, in the 1920s or something?
Yeah. This had been a long time ago.
I mean, didn't women not get the right to vote till like 1918?
Exactly.
So yeah, maybe back way back when they were running on like, wood tracks and stuff.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I don't look at women differently. I don't look at a woman racer and applaud her because she's running well. We're equals.
Okay.
I look at us as equals. I mean, I think it's awesome. I'm all for it. But giving women the extra spotlight just because she's female, nah, screw that. No, I'm not here for that. I'm building myself. I'm at your level, like equals or not.
Yeah.
Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's kind of where I wanted this to go, because because I talked to my wife about stuff like that, and she, she's not a driver. She's not involved at like the level you are, obviously, in any way, but she grew up around racing and has always had an interest. She knows how racing goes and stuff. And I asked her, and she's like, I don't really care. Like, she's like, yeah, go, like, women should go do what they want to do. That's great, but like, it doesn't really affect how I want to do things. She goes, I'm fine being she's not going to hand me my helmet, but she wants to be that's where she wants to be.
She'll tell you to get your own damn helmet, Jordan.
No, she's handed me a helmet before. She's at the car, but she's not the one, like she's not climbing inside the car to like
Yeah.
give me a kiss before I go out or anything. She's just like, here you go. Go have fun.
Have fun, honey.
She's like, come back
You
safe.
do your thing. Yep.
We need to pay bills. Come back safe.
Yes, please.
So I've seen, that side of it. And I feel like I see more women coming up and racing more of that. And that's kind of where, like, I was just curious where you think it all kind of falls right now. Is it good progression? Do you think like, we're seeing more women drivers. I see more women doing more media. I see more women doing what I'm doing, but I don't think it's enough, or I think it is enough. Like,
Yeah.
that was kind of where.
For what I do get people that say like, you get more publicity because you're female. And I'm like, maybe. Again, back to the thumbnail. Okay. You put a guy in a thumbnail versus a girl in a thumbnail. I'm going to click on the girl. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to click on the girl. Sorry. But whatever your prerogative is, whatever gets your attention, But as far as
it is sad that that's where the attention is.
Absolutely.
From, but I don't know.
Sex sells, Jordan. Sex sells.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
So as far as where we're at in the industry, in the sport, in the world, yes, there definitely could be and should be more women racers, but I'm not racing. I'm following my own path. So I see, like you said, I see a ton of women running social media, running series, owning racetracks, promoting, racing, doing what it is they want and what they enjoy. But that's the thing too, is like I was said before, is people want to give them the extra spot. Like we have a Women's Day. What the frick is that? A Women's Day? Why? Every day is Women's Day. Like what? Yeah. Power to the women,
That's right.
I'm power to the women, but I'm also like, I just don't see a difference.
Right.
I really don't see a difference. So I'm proud of where we're at. I don't, applaud social media outlets that spotlight the women. I'm like, if she's winning, hell yeah, good for her.
Right.
But if she's running 10th out of 60 males, well, okay, pick up the game. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's curious. Like, it's nice my curiosity gets the best of me with that stuff because because I'm not a woman. Like I wonder what you guys see because I see.
Hey, now I'm a little different. So there's women that are probably not going to approve what I'm saying.
I get it. It's just maybe a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
No, but it's cool. It's nice to see just like where you're at, and it kind of fits what I've seen. The women around me, they think the same way, and they're like, all right, that's great. Like when you're talking about the drivers, it's like, okay, yeah, that's great. She's running, like you said, she's running in the top 10. That's cool, but like, come on, pick up pace, like get out there and win.
I mean, it just first thing comes to mind is how many times when my dad races Florida because dirt car nationals and blah blah blah. Did you know that's a hand painted car? They always said it. Like, did you know that's a hand-painted car? It's a hand-painted car. It's a hand-painted car. And I'm like, it's like, did you know that's a woman racing? That's a woman racing. That's a woman racing. I'm like, talk about something else. Like, come on. Okay. That's where I was at.
It is impressive because it's different. It's different. Women didn't race or, Janet Guthrie. Like, it was impressive when she ran the Coke 600, when she ran Indy. Like, she was a trailblazer. It was impressive when Shauna Robinson started running NASCAR, and it was one of those things where people paid attention because it was different. But I guess there does come a point where it's like, okay, that's all well and great, but come on, like if they're not producing the results, then they get treated just like.
Yes,
just
that's
like
my
anybody
biggest
else.
thing. I'm not like segregating like only men should be racing, but you need to perform. Like, this is a performance sport, and not everyone gets a participation trophy, right? Like, so I'm all for women racing. I'm all for women taking charge and running the show, but you got to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the ones that are, like you said, are owning tracks or
Mm-hmm.
are promoting, they're not getting cut any slack.
No, I mean, hey,
they're owning a racetrack just like and running it just like anybody else.
This is the the Mandee side here is there are people that, okay, they might treat the women differently. That's a promoter than a male promoter. They might try to walk over the female than the male. You don't know, but that says to me more about the shitty people than the promoter themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So
absolutely. Yeah. I'm out.
Are we tapped?
Yeah, I'm out of specific topics or
Okay.
specific questions.
I mean, I'll give you 5 more minutes if you.
You want me to just
you want to
ramble?
wing it?
Want me to just ramble here?
Yeah, let me drink my fake water. Okay.
I do have.
You
water.
have water.
I do have water. I'm gonna take it.
I did not fill up, by the way. I made sure my cup's here though. So
yeah,
I like those questions. Those were good.
Were they good?
Those were good, deep questions. And I think it gives a perspective of my opinion, but again, everyone's opinion is different. Of course, take it or leave it. Do not get offended.
Mm-hmm.
But my mindset, my personality, my drive is what has gotten me here. So
yeah, and I feel like people want to. That's what this podcast was for. Is people wanted to see more of you, your entire team, obviously with Billy and Mike. That's
obviously on here. Very.
I felt like people would want to know more about the content creation side and wanted to know about you starting up the channel that this is on as well, and obviously pick at your brain a little bit, see where you're at on a few things.
Thank you.
And we picked at her brain. We found out it's purple and nip slip
And sex sells.
and sex.
And sex sells.
Sex always
sells. Sex and drugs, man. Sex and drugs. Maybe some race cars in there. This is totally going to be the title. Clickbait.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No, sex, drugs, and race cars.
Sex, drugs,
Wait,
and
we got to
race
talk about
cars.
drugs now.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
I dropped an F-bomb before.
Yeah,
Just
you did.
that.
You did. I like,
Are you going to bleep me out or is that just going to ride?
I don't know. I might let it ride.
You're going to have to do a lot of editing on this.
Okay, so funny with the bleep is TikTok, Reels, video stuff on social media. So there's audio, right? Like there's songs and people like dancing to it and like, so I use them. Like my goal is like promote, market, blah, blah, blah. Well, ironically today I do, I forget what it was, but I'm getting ready to say the B word just so everyone knows that he did not forewarn you, but bleep. So I forget, the audio is like something about like, it said bitch and it basically just said BITCH like 10 times. And I had it on my Instagram and it went to my Facebook feed and some older gentleman comments on it and says, Mandee, I think you've been hacked because I know you wouldn't curse like that. Shit. I'm like,
whoops.
Well, first I was like, it's not me. It's just like, how do you explain that to an older gentleman?
Right. Yeah. That's a really tough one to get across.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the music.
Yeah. It's not me, but I did utilize something that does curse. So I apologize if I offended you, but it was pretty good audio. So I had to use it. Mm-hmm. And it's like what the cool kids do. So trying to stay hip and hop. I wanted to send you,
you weren't using TikTok much at the time. So I wanted to send you, the TikTok. It was when, there was a video or there was an audio that was, do you feel bonita? And it was like always somebody like dressed in something like ridiculous. And then it was like, I feel bonita. And it was like, good, because you look bonita.
Bonita.
Beautiful in Spanish.
Okay.
And I wanted you to dress Mike in his blue suit, in his blue Dirt Track Untold suit.
Yeah.
And then and be like, do you
feel beautiful?
Do you feel bonita? And then have him go, I feel bonita.
I definitely do not see him doing that whatsoever.
I had this vision in my head of it working, and I was like, this could work, but she's not on TikTok. You got to use your TikTok more.
I'm trying. The one with me and Mike.
Not in a weird way. Not in a weird way, people.
What's a weird way?
No, because
Nip
like people,
slip?
no,
Nip slip. It's
Nip
definitely
slip.
nip slip.
Because people have this weird perception of TikTok, and it's like, no, it's.
Well, I'm just
it's
waiting
funny
for the
stuff.
country to ban it so I don't have to do it.
Well, then everyone's just going to use Instagram Reels. It's the same thing.
And I'm on it. I'm on it.
It's the same shit.
It is.
It's the
It's
same
the same
thing.
black hole. I know.
It is a dark hole to fall down.
I hate it. It's so yeah, back to content. I'm constantly trying to make content. I'm over here like I got to make my Arbonne content. I got to make my racing content. I got to make my podcast content. And I got to remember to eat, sleep, and poop. And like can't do it all.
Yeah.
So to the 15-year-olds, if you want to come hang out and teach me a few things and do the what's it called? Internship.
Well, she has an internship open. So
I don't know how that works, but I'll write you a letter. I'll write you a really good letter.
she'll send you a letter.
Yeah. No, I'll send the letter to whoever they want to work with. Isn't that how it works?
Oh yeah, right. No, I get.
Recommendation letter.
Recommendation. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got there. Yeah. All right.
God. Okay.
fair.
This is fun. So you're coming back. This is great. People are gonna eat it up. So Jordan, thank you so much for joining in and making this very entertaining.
Thanks for having me back.
Nailed it. And I know we have more topics. So TBD. Wait, is that to be determined? Yeah, to be determined. All right.
Mm-hmm.
TBD.
Yeah.
TBD. It's
Well,
probably not cool
yeah.
to use that anymore, but
Okay.
I don't know, is it? It's like
Yeah.
BRB. Does anyone say BRB anymore?
People say it now, which is
Really?
weird. Yeah. It's like, oh, BRB.
All right. BRB until next Tuesday, guys. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoy this, make sure to like it, share it, comment below. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if we should bring this guy back on. And until next time, you know, what's a cool lingo? Like, stay cool. Behave, don't do drugs. Sex sells.
Sex sells, don't do drugs. But race cars are awesome. Come on back. Thanks for having me, Mandy.
Thank you.